Okay, so welcome guys to our data analytics competition info session for the spring 2021. My name is Eduardo Guzman. I am the current president of Association for Information Systems. So we're gonna start. So we're happy to announce that this semester we're gonna do the Atom AIS Analytics Challenge. It's a competition that it's open to all FIU students, and this competition starts today, March 22nd, and ends on Sunday, April 11th. That means that you're gonna have basically around 3 weeks to work on your analysis and the latest day of submission is gonna be April 11th. If you want to learn a little bit of this, more info about this thing, go to ais.fiu.org/datathon to know more about it. So we're gonna go straight ahead with some of the information of this workshop. So this is the agenda that we're gonna have today. So we're gonna start with data sets, important dates, the frequently asked questions that we have, the next steps and future events, a Q&A, a real quick Q&A, and then we're gonna share to you guys a couple of presentations made by previous competitors from last year or 2019 competitions. So you guys can get an idea of which type of visualizations you're open to work on and other stuff. So yeah, we're gonna work with it. So there are gonna be 4 data sets on this competition that you guys can choose to work on. Okay, so we have the first one is esports and gaming industry trends, the food delivery industry trends, the student loans and issues and trends, and the impact of COVID-19 cases in South Florida. So I see that I have one question in. Okay, thank you, Nicholas. So yeah, these are the main data sets that you guys should work on it. However, feel free to use any other type of data that can add to these main data sets in any way possible that you believe that your analysis can get enhanced or anything. So the next one we have are the important dates. So what's the start date? Today, March 22nd. When will the data sets be released? Today, actually tonight. It's already released. When will the data sets be released? Oh, my bad. I didn't change this question. So this question is, when will be the submission date? I'll change it right away before sending it to you guys. The submission date will be on Sunday, April 11th. Okay. So the last question is about the submission date. So these are the frequently asked questions that we have. This is a 100% online event. That means that you don't have to meet up with people or go to FIU to this activity. Everything can be online. It's up to you if you want to meet up with your team in person or whatever. Who can participate in this competition? Anyone, basically. It's open to all FIU students with any experience level in analytics. That means that if you have a friend that's really into these things, but he's not, you know that he's not experienced, but he wants to try or work on, encourage him to come to participate in this competition. I highly recommend it. He helps you out a lot with your resume and with your technical skills. And yeah, it's important to highlight that it's only for FIU students. So if you're an alumni and wants to participate in this competition, you cannot. However, we encourage you to stay with us as a mentor. That means that you can help any team in general to help them with some questions that they might have with their data set. But all the analysis must be made by FIU students. Is there a group limit? Yes, there's going to be a group limit. So the competitors can compete individually or as a group. The maximum are 4 members per team. So do I need to analyze the 4 data sets? No, you only need to choose one for the event. However, you can participate in multiple data sets. What do I mean like that? So you can work on esports and gaming industry and upload that analysis. But if you already did your analysis on the impact of COVID cases, you can also upload that analysis as well. So you work on different categories. We will say these are 4 data sets that are different. That means that these are 4 different categories. So it's up to you to decide which one is the one that you would like to participate on. And you can complete all of them if you can make a great analysis, or anything like that. So yeah, those are the things you can work. You can choose only one or choose whatever, but you need to make sure that these are four different submissions. It's not the same one submission. There are four different ones. Um, so what tools can I use to analyze the data? The teams are free to use any tools or combination of tools to clean, analyze, visualize their chosen data. We recommend using the variety of Python, R, SQL, Power BI, RapidMiner, um, and all the Tableau, and Tableau. These are the ones that we encourage our students and our members to work on, since these are the ones that we actually have the work on. And as you can see, we have a note right here that says that all teams participating in the competition will get access to our data workshops recording. That means that you get access to the Tableau workshops, you get access to the Power BI, RapidMiner, all these workshops that we have done in the past. You get access to it if you want to work on this data, on these technologies for your data set specifically. So these are the next steps. If you go to go.fiu.edu/datathon, you will get the entire information about the data sets, and you can download the data sets right over there. The second step is that you can share for a group. That is optional. It's up to you guys if you want to do that. I highly encourage you to do it. It's the best way to learn. It's the best way to understand how to work on a team. So yeah, that is something that is up to you, that you can text on the group chat. Hey, I'm interested in, I don't know, the esports gaming industry data sets, and me too. Okay, we can work together and so on. So yeah, these are the other events that we're gonna have this week that I highly recommend you to come if you're gonna participate in this competition. These are gonna be recorded either way, but I highly recommend you to come if you have any questions, because these are the perfect persons that they can help you. So the first one is on this Wednesday, March 24th at 8 p.m. We're gonna have a workshop about how to tell a compelling story. Okay, hosted by the Coding Sisters, which are Yolanda and Rosa Maria Belisario. These are people that actually works on. Hold on, my bad. These are people that actually work on my bad. I'm apparently I'm screaming, and my roommate just told me that. So these are people that work on assurance. These are really talented persons, and I highly recommend you to reach them out if you have any question about how to tell, and get engaged with the people about your analysis that you did and your visualization. The next one is the data set. So we have the data set explanations that basically are faculty members that have helped us reach out and get these data sets. That means Dr. Wishart, Dr. Simpson, Dr. Professor Duran, and Professor Carrie Sanchez. They're gonna help us out with explaining which each of the data sets that we already created. And this is an event that's gonna be on March 25th at 8 p.m. Uh, and yeah, these are all the things that we have for the information. If you have any questions, drop out the unmute yourself, or ask any questions in the chat. If not, we can go on, and we're gonna show you the types of visualizations that we have done in the previous competitions. Let me know if you guys want to follow on.
I can just take over from here if anything.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Um, so some of you might know me, some of you might not. But my name is Kevin, right? Pretty simple. And kind of what I want to point out is there's 4 data sets and you can make 4 submissions, but you're not given a task really, right? It doesn't tell you get me this, get me that. A lot of the freedom here is basically what you want to get out of this, right? What's your analysis? What are you presenting? And because of that, there's a lot of skill sets, right? Different uh, skill sets, whether somebody's a really strong programmer, really strong at visualizing. The end goal is the analysis, so it's kind of like bundling that together. I've competed probably now for like 2 years, and I have tons of code, right? I have Python scripts here, logistic regressions, but you don't present that, right? You're not sitting explaining, hey, we did this and we're really talented because we know how to clean data. At the end of the day, you're presenting something kind of like this, which this was the 2019 winner, where it really bundled in financial analytics, marketing analytics to see pricing for books and then see how the market is based on reading levels, right? The age groups, you can see, we can track the revenue. And then we set out a whole cost structure for how to grow a brand and kind of the expected outcome, as well as some code. But we had to kind of fancy it up, right? Because this really is presenting a finding, as you can see here by like questions, what's going to look like in the future. And those questions you're going to have to come up with yourself, depending on your data set, whether you're working with esports. I think there was financial data, esports, food delivery. Maybe it's not complete. You might have to bring in extra data, like what the market looks like for food delivery. What are the largest cities? What do they own, right? Like what's their market share? Anything that you think might help your analysis, go for it and formulate your questions around that. It's not a who can code the best. It's who can deliver the most insight with maybe an infographic, maybe some charts, or just a straight up analysis, right? Um, Last year, I actually submitted a website, which was something different. I submitted more of a product and structured it to say why the product is important, which is very different than something here like a marketing or financial approach. And I know Pablo, who's also competed, what he did last year was a very big dashboard kind of to keep track of like KPIs. So there's a lot of different approaches and you can really tailor it to your skill sets. So that's just what I want to get across. There's no clear question to solve. So take liberty in solving it yourself in your own approach. Um, how you should submit, I think it's pretty straightforward, right? The main thing is a story, and that goes into the scoring criteria, which is it clear? Is it a good idea? Did everyone do the same thing, right? The novelty, how unique it is. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's also not everyone makes the same bar chart and says prices, revenue go up. That means good, right? Take liberty. You have 3 weeks to do it, and you're not getting graded on it, right? You're just competing for some money. So
Any questions? Okay. So I don't know, Pablo, do you want to share your presentation? Do you have it there or you're good?
Yeah, I'll share mine. Let me see. I'm gonna share mine right now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So this one is the Scholastic one that we did 2 years ago.
I think you're sharing like the wrong screen.
Oh yeah, the wrong one. Whoops. Let me. Sorry. Hold on. I have like another computer connected to the other screen, so I gotta go back. All right. There you go. All right. So this is the Scholastics challenge that we did 2 years ago for the Adams challenge. This is first time that I myself this was before I even knew SQL. It was the first time that I interacted with Power BI. It was with Christian. Rayner was the prior AIS lead a few years ago, and that's really how I got exposure into Power BI and like what it could do. And then Natalie was just she was another member who she also got a lot from that. Our tech stack was between Python. We use something called Visme for infographic. I don't have that right now. We use, well, actually, I do. We have Power BI and then SQL to clean the data. Rainer, he worked a lot with SQL and Power BI, and I tried to get a model going on in Python. Let me see. I actually do have the infographic. So let me see. I have a lot of stuff, guys. Hmm. So this was our infographic that we did with Visme. So it was kind of like an overview, just more like a prettied up version uh, overview, so that when we gave the judges, it was just something nice for them to look at on top of what we provided. So just something on like highest, all that, something different. And then you have like just like an overview of like the revenue. So it was something a little nice that we did just to try to get an advantage. Um, Let me see, and then back to the PowerPoint. Yeah, so we wanted to keep it brief, so we kept it too brief. So it was literally like kind of like the steps that we did, the tech stack, and then we migrated over to the dashboard. So the dashboard, actually I have it here. Um, this is really how the dashboard looked like. Rainer did this at the time. He worked for Royal. So we got a lot of insight from how he did stuff. So there was a lot of text mining that he did. Like so that's why this was kind of like my idea, and he implemented it because he knew how to do it. So this kind of gave you like key terms that you would see for a single genre. So I guess like top genres. We did some groupings just to give like an overview of how some of these things performed, the categories. It was really a big overview for everyone. This was actually pretty good. It's nicely done. This was something for the infographic, and this was a big. This was just to have it handy, so that if we wanted to have the data, we could just have it. Rainer thought it was a good idea to have the raw data on the dashboard, just to have it there. So that was the Scholastic one. It's pretty good. We did pretty good. We also had some tough competition. Kevin did good. He got second place. Dino and Luisa and some of those guys, they got first and third. Like they were yeah. I know Kevin did a recommendation system. That was actually pretty good. And then with Tom, and then third, I I forgot who was third, but that was
Yeah, like
also
to piggyback off that, right? We had a whole big backend code that recommended where to sell books. Well, we didn't really demonstrate that. We just showed off the system.
yeah.
We
You
didn't
didn't
talk
get too
about
technical,
so so that's
but it
like
was good.
that's a good part of the strength of this competition. It's how good is your recommendation? That's it, right? Doesn't matter how good you are. Like was way more visually appealing than ours. But maybe right in a certain term, it seemed too condensed, right? So it's really varied, and it leaves up to the judges to decide.
Yep, that was
And of
yep, that
course, you
was
present
good.
it yourself, right? Pass the submission. So you can still win it in the presentation phase.
Yep. And then last, this was the datathon. This one got like second place. Uh, we were The goal was to kind of come up with a solution on COVID-19, and what we did here was we worked for. There were different goals, and one of the goals that we went for was how we could provide COVID-19 resources to the university. Um, One of them was we have Natalie here as well, and then Shiv, he was an AIS member. I think he's back to doing his MS right now. So yeah, he's back. Let me see. So some of it, this one is more detailed, and also what we did here, we this one is you could even have Excel, by the way. So this one was done in Excel. It was more of an analysis, financial slash pricing analysis on how we would go about not only just seeing how what it takes to support the university, like students, but also like um, how we would like go ahead with pricing and all that. This was all done in Excel. So it's a very thorough analysis, like just because, we're tech students, you could go out in the world and know a lot of good, some macros, formulas, all that stuff. This is pretty good. Very thorough analysis here and how we allocated some of those expenses to pay for the tuition, like how we could kind of allocate tuition expenses to paying for supplies so it won't have to be out of pocket. That was it was a pretty this one was good. And then I have the dashboard here to that. This one was a COVID-19 dashboard that we did. uh, Wanted to keep it kind of like a simplistic minimalist style. So the time, this was like around July. This is probably like skyrocket right now. But um, this is kind of like an overview. I wanted this to be like what I wanted this to be. I really wanted this to be like a supply chain dashboard. Companies really pay a lot of money just for like software to do this kind of stuff, but instead you can have a dashboard to do this if you connect it to a database and then back it up with data. Uh, on the left, we wanted to do some forecasting with this. I was looking into like Monte Carlo, but we didn't have enough time. And the right here was kind of like just an overview of how bad it was, like how bad it is across Florida, and obviously like right down here, it's like pretty bad. It was bad. It's probably worse now, especially with the weekend events. So let me see. Oh yeah, and then you can look at how many got tested negative, how many were still pending, and then positive. On the next one, goes more into inventory management. Um, so you see everything from like, all right, there's the inventory, face masks, face shields, and kind of like the cost for the state, how many days on hand, like just tracking, like, again, a lot of companies pay a high price on software to do this kind of stuff, but you could just do this on a dashboard if you had the data. It was actually hard to get the data, but we got it. um, and then that was a current inventory, and then this is inventory as far as like, all right, like what's expected in the next 2 weeks, what's already been delivered, uh, what can we expect the next 4 weeks. So it's really inventory management. This one's like, yeah, again, more financial. Just that's that's why we picked this, because I'm a finance major originally, so it's kind of like my background and what I know about. So this was pretty good. And then the last part, because the whole goal was actually to provide resources to like FIU students. We had to get we researched uh, some resource suppliers and like within Florida, that so that we could be able to find where we can outsource some of this stuff. So if we wanted to see like face shields, these were the guys who had those resources: gloves, hand sanitizers, masks, and then obviously we put FIU in red just so that you can get an idea of like where how far these are located. There was one anomaly here, but sometimes you get that with data. But yeah, that was pretty much it. That's what we did.
Thank you, Pablo. Let me share my screen real quick, just to finish the wrap it up right now this session. Okay, so just gonna put it right over here. So once again, just a reminder. Thank you for coming. So this Wednesday we're gonna have the How to Tell a Compelling Story workshop with the Coding Sisters, and on Thursday at night at 8 p.m. we're gonna have the data sex explanation with Dr. Wishart, Dr. Simpson, Professor Durang, and Professor Sanchez. If you guys have any questions, this is the time to do it. If not, thank you and have a great evening.
One thing I'd like to say is uh, anyone that needs a group, feel free to reach out, and we'll definitely bucket you in to try and make sure that everyone's competitive. Like myself, I only have 2 members, like 2 confirmed members so far. So you can reach out to me on Discord. My name's Blue. Me.
Either way, just like we said in the past. Okay, go ahead.
Like,
Sorry.
That's me. Feel free to message, and we can just break it down if you want to compete with a group or if you want to be individual. I really don't want to exclude anyone just because they're not confident.
You can use the group search tab right there in the Discord.
Yeah, like I competed in 2019 with Jamari in his first semester, and I'd say that was a really good experience for both of us. And no one was limited, right? We each contributed and like gained knowledge. So yeah, definitely reach out to me or other groups, and we'll definitely bucket you in.
So yeah, thank you guys. Any last questions? If not, let's see. This is the time. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. So yeah, bye bye.